So, speaking of campaigns, you've worked with an incredible number of artists. We mentioned some of them, and then also with a bunch of incredible brands: Apple, Starbucks, CoverGirl, Paramount, Mountain Dew, Electronic Arts, Rockstar Games, AOL, the NBA, NFL, so many. So, here's kind of a fun question. What have been some of your favorite campaigns that you've worked on with some of these huge brands or artists?
Oh, that's easy. My favorite campaign that I was so proud of the most was I did two at the time iPod commercials. One, and they were back to back. It was Daft Punk and then the Gorillas or
Yeah.
Gorillas. And this was something that took me 4 months of solid pitching over and over and over and over and over again to the ad agency for Apple, and I just kept going back to them and giving them new information about the artists, things that they were doing that were successful, whether their song was getting played at certain radio stations, or they were getting certain reviews in certain music magazines, or they were touring, or another artist was talking about them. And I just kept going back. And finally, Apple took the music to the agency and said, "Okay, what do you think?" And they were like, "Boom, love it." And in fact, Gorillaz did so well with that particular song that
Yeah.
they decided to use that album cover on all of the packaging for that particular edition of the iPod.
Wow.
So it was not just the commercial placement, it wasn't just the licensing placement for this $25 million TV campaign. It was having the album cover on the actual advertising and the packaging of the iPod. When you got the iPod in the Apple store, you got a picture of the iPod, and on the screen was the Gorillaz album cover. So that, I mean, to me, that was like an explosive finale to a show that was so long and drawn out that you never thought it was going to actually end.
Right.
And it just hit so hard. And I was so proud of that. I was really, really excited about it. The other big win for me was with Starbucks. They, at the time, Starbucks was selling a lot of music in their cafes. You could, you go to the cash register and there'd be like a featured album, like a CD
I
of
remember
that
that.
month, remember? And so it's very, very competitive. I mean, it's like musical chairs, you've got all these record companies putting out all these albums, and everybody wants to be in Starbucks because you don't want to have to compete against any other
Right.
record. I was working on the new Rolling Stones album. I was at Virgin, and I said, we have to not just sell the new Rolling Stones album, we have to put together an album that's exclusive to Starbucks, that has Rolling Stones music on it that no one has ever heard.
Mhm.
Which means we have to go into the vault at EMI, their record company in the UK, and we have to pull out these super rarities, and we have to create an album of these rarities and bundle it with the new album, or give people the opportunity just to buy the rarities on its own. So this was really fun for me because the Rolling Stones are like my favorite band of all time. So I was really having a good time going through the vault and looking at all these tracks and putting together this list of songs and everything. And I put together this CD of 16 songs, and it was presented to Mick Jagger. And I thought, he's just going to rip it apart. He's going to be like, I hate this. I don't like that song. I want this song there. And I just thought he's going to just rip it. He didn't make one change.
Wow.
He loved it. And I was like, I have now died and gone to heaven because Mick Jagger has approved of my CD. And so we did this deal with Starbucks, and they loved it, and it was very successful, and it was talked about. There was a lot of press about it, and it was really fun. It was the first time that a band the age of the Rolling Stones had ever been in a place like Starbucks, which was appealing to people much, much younger. It really gave them a lot of exposure to a much younger audience than they would have gotten otherwise. So I was pretty proud of that. I was pretty psyched about it.